All right, today is Sunday, August the 3rd. I had some bad news Friday. I sent an email to the chief of police, and I've had some serious misgivings about our police department. Why they won't enforce the law. Other cities do. And this email I sent to Chief Acevedo on the 31st said, "Chief Art, you being the chief of police, can you tell me why your department is not stopping tow trucks for traffic violations? Why the Wrecker Enforcement Unit dropped the ball on the 741 vehicles J&J stole from across the street from your office? And APD tow contractor Southside Wrecker is allowed to tow vehicles without safety chains and routinely speed to calls requested by PD. I simply cannot understand why Detective Loser can't speak to me in a total disregard to uphold 2308.405. That's the criminal penalty of the towing statute, being the second offense is a B, or as in most cities that have universities, arrest the tow truck operator for felony theft, dollar value of the vehicle. So I really can't understand why everything that is in place with the current ordinance and state law, the many FTE hours, that's full-time employees, to write the ordinance, David Gann, why your department is allowing towing companies and parking facilities to engage in organized criminal activity targeting their residents, potential customers, and the tourists with impunity. Well, Friday I got a call from Detective Thomas Ballard in the Wrecker Enforcement Unit. He was chosen to deliver the chief's response since he didn't want to talk to me personally. I don't know why. I'll run it to him somewhere around town. And Detective Ballard said in reference to the vehicles that were towed underneath 35 that according to city legal there was no criminal offense that occurred, even though they didn't have authorization to tow the cars, and several of them weren't even reported to the police. Now that's a criminal offense. They didn't have authority to tow the car, but the police want to say there's no criminal charge, but yet the statute says any violation of the statute is a criminal offense. So then the next question we talked about was the signage. He stated that T.D. Lahr told him this past week that a towing sign that says towing enforced at all times was a legal sign. But T.D. Lahr just put it up on their website that the sign can only say towing enforced, but now T.D. Lahr tell the police department that that's legal. I told Detective Ballard you could call money and ask that same question to a different person, you get a different answer. So here we got T.D. Lahr giving law enforcement the wrong information. The very ones that we need to uphold the law right here in Austin, where the capital is where the law wouldn't affect right here in Austin because of Austin. And then he wants to talk about, well, you know, Detective Loser arrested Don Creamer and you know how the courts are. I said, I know exactly how the courts are. But that doesn't mean you don't stop just because you lose one case that happened 4 years ago. And then he said the department's not going to be prosecuting tow companies and parking facilities for the criminal penalty of attached to the towing statute. They're not even going to enforce the Vehicle Storage Facility Act, what the legislature mandated they do. So the public, dealing with companies like J&J and Prontos and Central Towing and Big A and Reliant, Park Right, Customs, it just goes on and on. If they're trying to take your car and the sign's not legal, Or they're trying to tow your car for an expired inspection sticker or a registration sticker. Or they're trying to charge you a drop fee and the vehicle is not fully ready to transport. That means up on dollies, both safety chains attached to the vehicle, not the straps on the wheel lip, but the chains, and the tow lights must be on the vehicle. If those scenarios happen to you anywhere in Austin, since the police are not going to do anything, you're just going to have to use whatever reasonable force necessary to prevent your vehicle from being stolen. I'm not inside. I don't condone violence. That's an individual choice on what you're going to do to protect your property. But you have to protect yourself, and you cannot trust any place that you get towed from. J&J's got a new sign, but it's still wrong because it spells the state unauthorized vehicles will be towed at owners '(s) or operators '(s) expense. Those are statutory violations. That one line, that one sentence you'll collect $1,600 if you go file that hearing in Judge Steen's court after on 71. You get it up here in Glenn Bass's court, and you get in Judge Williams's court over in Springdale and Manor. I wouldn't recommend filing any tow hearings in Precinct 4 because of his history. So the public is going to have to remain vigilant with these tow truck drivers. They're going to continue to steal. The police are not going to do anything to them. So you're on your own, but the bottom line is, just because the police won't file the criminal charge, they're going to let them engage in organized criminal activity, payoffs, and briberies. They know all about that with that Southside contract. And that Detective Loser not being able to take my calls, and Ballard said, well, you can talk to our lieutenant. I know Harlan. But, you know, I'm a citizen, and he's going to tell me he's not going to talk to me, and I'm the one who's trying to help him enforce the law. Because it's evident that somebody within the city government is pulling the strings in the Wrecker Enforcement Unit and the police department in reference to towing. And it all goes back to Southside Wrecker. The police are so interwoven in that private enterprise that it's making money for everyone around that's tied to that contract. And the citizens getting screwed to the max. You know, Bobby New brags about his $3 million house and his $1 million race car. And he got all that money off the citizens because of the revenue generator in the contract. You know, we're getting fucked good. You know, when they can bring in $70,000 in auction a week, and the city getting pennies on the dollar, come on now, the public's tired of getting screwed. That's another reason you don't want to vote for Mike Martinez or Sheriff Cole. You don't want to vote for any incumbent on that city council, because they've allowed this shit to get out of hand. They made no efforts to bring any changes to the table. It's your pocketbook and it's your vote. So don't vote for anybody that's an incumbent to city council, because all they want to do is keep raising our property taxes, keep dividing us, and what do? We get screwed, both by the police department, who's supposed to protect us from criminal activity, and the city council that don't give a shit unless it lines their pockets, and a city government that don't care. So the whole system is just screwed up here in Austin. So just because you can't file criminal charges, you can still take your cases to those justice of the peace courts and file a small claims court statutory violation case against the parking facility owner. You find that on the appraisal district website, either in Williamson or Travis County or Hays County, whichever it may be. And then you go to the state franchise, you go to the state controller's website, check franchise tax status on a management company that manages that property. And down on the bottom, you click on officers and directors, and it'll tell you who the head honchos are, and you put their name on that petition. Leave the tow company out of it. It only takes one guilty to collect. So you cite all the statutory violations. You go into court and you have it documented either in a PowerPoint or you have a video or pictures. You want to use 11 by 17 color. 5 or 6 violations, they ain't gonna win. There's absolutely no way they can win, especially when the sign's wrong. So our police department won't allow the towing companies to line their pockets with our money, stealing it. Stealing cars is what they're doing. It's BS. I told Detective Ballard he needs to call down to San Antonio and talk to the vehicle crimes unit over there so he can get educated, because what he's being told by his superiors is totally wrong, and they're violating the citizens' rights by telling the people they can't file criminal charges for stealing their vehicle. So that's about it. I'm going to take a ride out to Festival Beach for the afternoon Sunday cruise, listen to a little music. Won't have my doggy. I had to bury him Monday. He got sick. And 14-year dog. I love that doggy. But life goes on. Watch where you park. Subscribe to Texas Towing Compliance.